Have you ever wondered how war can change a continent, its people, and its culture? Imagine Africa, a continent rich with diversity, where hundreds of tribes once lived in harmony. But peace was shattered as rivalries ignited into tribal wars. These conflicts, fueled by differences in culture, language, and territory, marked the genesis of war in Africa. Then came the European powers, drawn to Africa's abundant resources. The scramble for Africa in the late 19th century saw these colonial powers carve up the continent, imposing borders that disregarded tribal lands and ancestral domains. This further fanned the flames of conflict. With the dawn of the 20th century, the struggle for independence emerged. Africans, united by a common desire for freedom, fought against their colonizers. This fight reshaped the continent's socio-political landscape, birthing new nations but also planting seeds of discord. And so, the fight for power and control set the stage for a cycle of conflict that still reverberates in Africa today. As the world moved into the Cold War era, Africa was not left untouched. The battle of ideologies between the East and the West, communism and capitalism, profoundly influenced the African continent. Rather than remaining isolated from global affairs, African nations found themselves at the heart of a grand chessboard, with superpowers maneuvering to secure their influence. The Cold War's geopolitical tug-of-war ignited numerous conflicts across Africa, turning nations into battlegrounds for proxy wars. It was an era that saw the rise of devastating civil wars and genocides, with superpowers often fanning the flames to protect their interests. The Democratic Republic of Congo, Angola, and Mozambique, among others, bore the brunt of these brutal conflicts. The Cold War's impact was not just physical, it also left deep ideological divides that continue to shape African politics and conflicts. The Cold War might have ended, but its echoes can still be heard in the conflicts that plague Africa. The turn of the century brought no respite from conflict for Africa. In the heart of the continent, modern conflicts persist, each with its own distinct narrative, yet sharing the common threads of human suffering. Take Sudan, for instance, where civil strife has ravaged the nation, leading to flagrant human rights abuses, a refugee crisis that has displaced millions, and an economy left in tatters. Or consider Somalia, a nation held hostage by the clutches of civil war, where daily life is overshadowed by fear and uncertainty. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, the echoes of conflict reverberate, leaving traces of economic devastation in their wake. These conflicts, though geographically confined, have consequences that ripple outwards, touching every corner of the globe. Lives are upended, societies are torn apart, and the very fabric of these nations is left frayed and worn. These are not just wars, they are humanitarian crises that demand global attention. In the face of such adversity, is there hope for peace in Africa? You may wonder. Indeed, the continent's history is speckled with strife, but hope is not lost. Across the vast landscape, peace movements are taking root, nourished by the resilience of the African people. Communities, once divided, are now working towards reconciliation, healing wounds that have festered for too long. They are rewriting their narratives, choosing paths of dialogue over discord, unity over division. On a broader scale, international organizations and the African Union diligently play their part. They mediate in conflicts, facilitate peace-building processes, and advocate for sustainable solutions. Their relentless efforts are instrumental in paving the way towards a peaceful Africa. The road to peace is undeniably challenging, filled with hurdles and setbacks, yet Africa's resilience, coupled with the tireless efforts of peace advocates, offers a glimmer of hope. A hope that one day the echoes of war will fade, replaced by harmonious rhythms of peace and unity. While the road to peace is challenging, Africa's resilience and the tireless efforts of peace advocates offer a glimmer of hope.